Welcome to another episode of Asia Unscripted. This is Black Friday, November 27th, 2020. I hope all of you that celebrate Thanksgiving had a good one. I did. This was my first Thanksgiving back in the States in a few years. So, when you're in the Philippines, you're in Thailand, Vietnam, you can still find restaurants that will serve up Thanksgiving turkey meals. You just have to look out for them. They advertise in the expat groups on Facebook. And many of them do special Christmas dinners too. So, if you guys are overseas and you're looking for a traditional Christmas dinner, well, check out your local expat groups on Facebook. So I am here in Bellevue, Washington. There's the transit center. The cross signals here are verbal, so that's great for people who are blind. So you get a verbal cue on when to cross. Some of the crossings even tell you what intersection you're at and which street to cross. So that's really great. So I like Bellevue. Bellevue is kind of like the Beverly Hills of Washington State. You're going to find some of the most expensive houses in Bellevue. In downtown Bellevue, it's pretty clean, as you can see. You're not going to find the garbage and the scumbags that you do in downtown Seattle. They just don't put up with that here in Bellevue. So it's a pleasant walk. But that's not why I'm doing the video today. In the last 24 hours, the Philippines has restored the Balikbayan Privilege again. What is that? Pretty much if you're married to a Filipino, or if you have a Filipino child and you're traveling with them at the same time, you can arrive at the airport in Manila or Cebu, and as long as you got your marriage certificate or the birth certificate of your child, they'll stamp you in for 1 year. So that's a great way of staying in the Philippines and not have to pay any fees, any renewals. You don't need to get an ACR card if you're on the Balikbayan Privilege. It's not a visa, it's just a stamp. So that privilege has been suspended since March. So they're finally bringing that back. My thinking is they want to try to get people back in to the Philippines for the Christmas holiday, but I think it might be too little too late. So, but if that interests you and your wife is with you, or your Filipino child is with you, and you want to head back to the Philippines starting December 7th, you can do that. And then if you are not traveling with your Filipino wife or your Filipino child, you can still get into the Philippines, but that would require a visa from your local consulate or embassy. If you're with your wife, if you're with your child, that doesn't require a visit to the embassy or the consulate. So that's the big difference between not being with them and being with them. So it pays to be with them when you're entering the Philippines. As for me, I mentioned to you guys in my last video that I've been applying for work in Vietnam, trying to get back to Asia. And I'm happy to report that I got an offer from a school just a few days ago. So part of my chores today is to find a FedEx store or UPS store to print off my contract, sign it, and return it. So what's going to happen there, once I return that contract signed, is they're going to submit my name to the People's Committee. The People's Committee, I don't know, in Vietnam is kind of like a city council, I guess, would be the equivalent here. The People's Committee pretty much runs the city. So they have to approve me. That will take 2 to 3 weeks. Once they approve me, then I have to get approval from the health department. Once that gets approved, then I get permission and my visa invitation letter from the immigration department. So I need to get 3 approvals to get over to Vietnam. Once I get those approvals, the school will arrange my flight. They're going to cover my flight as long as I work for them for a certain amount of time. And they're going to cover my quarantine hotel. One of the rules and why Vietnam is so successful with this pandemic is they're making everybody quarantine for 14 days. So foreigners quarantine in a hotel. Usually it's 3 stars and up. And Vietnamese that come back, they quarantine. They have military barracks, so they can quarantine there, and they don't have to spend the money on a hotel. It's very expensive to quarantine in a hotel there. The average price is $1,500 for the 14 days. That does include your food, but your COVID tests that you have to take, those cost extra. So the school's picking those up, thankfully. My goal, well, it's really not up to me, but my goal is to be out of here before New Year's Day. But the approval process might go into January, so we'll see. But that's okay. I have patience. I can wait. So if for some reason that doesn't work out, then of course Thailand has their tourist visa available. Indonesia still has a way to get in. So either way, I'm out of Seattle by mid-January at the latest. So this is Bellevue Square Mall. It's probably, it's the closest mall to my house in Seattle, and it's probably is the most upscale of the malls. They got their Christmas decorations out. The only problem with Black Friday going to the mall is the malls have 25% capacity limits. So I don't know how they're enforcing that, or if maybe everybody is just staying home. Their Black Friday sales here in the States actually have been going on all month, because the stores know that I shouldn't say no one, that many people don't want to leave their house for this, so it makes sense. Anyways, I just kind of wanted to give you guys an update. This is another one of those rare sunny days or semi-sunny days here in Seattle. It's no fun to do these when it's raining. So anyways, for Asia Unscripted, this is Jason, and stay safe out there. The cases are still rising at a fast rate. So if you don't have to go out, stay home, stay safe. But if you do go out, hey, that's okay too. Just take the proper precautions. Oh, I just noticed there's a PF Chang's across the street. Might have to get some of that to go. Anyways, talk to you guys later. Happy Black Friday.